Darling. Tampons versus pads, pads versus tampons. Okay, girl. Okay, well, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Welcome back to my channel. You're watching the Bathroom Diaries, where I talk about bathroom products, skincare products, controversial topics, and reaction videos. In today's videos, we are doing the pad versus the tampon, tampon versus pad. Males that are watching this video, do not exit, okay? Stay informed, because you know you have a sister or a mother or a daughter or a female friend, and it's good to stay informed. Ladies, let's have this conversation, tampon versus pad. This is kind of like a taboo, controversial topic, because as women, we do love to talk about how much pain we're in with our periods, but we don't talk about which one we prefer. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about pads, I'm going to be talking about tampons, I'm going to be talking about the benefits, the embarrassing moments, and I'm going to be talking about how to actually use them both. So this should be interesting. So the first thing we're going to start off with is pads. Pads is something that we're all introduced to as, you know, women, as when we're starting off our womanhood through hormones, and we're all hormonal. So I started my period when I was 12 years old. So I've been in this game for a hot minute now. And in class, I went to a girls' school. So in year 7, they gave us pads and they just told us how to use it. So when I did come on my period, I was like, oh my God, I've got a pad at home, I know how to use it. What I love about pads is that they're just simple to use. They're the first thing you're introduced to. They range, so if you have a light period, which basically means if there's less blood, use a light pad. If you have a heavy flow, which means a lot of blood coming out, then you use this period pad, which is thicker. It's for nighttime. You can also use this for nighttime, because sometimes when you have a heavy flow or you start your period, sometimes blood can get onto the sheets, but with this kind of thick pad, it's very less likely for that to happen. So they definitely range. I will show you guys in a second the difference between the pads, the light pads and the thick pads. But yeah, I think what I love about these pads is that they're so easy to get, they're so easy to use, and it just is what it is. You just use your period pad, you know what I mean? The negative sides to the pad, or something that's quite jarring, is the paranoia, I would say. Sometimes you're always like, if you're with a friend, you're like, oh my God, can you please check to make sure that there's no blood on my trousers or my skirt, because I'm wearing this pad and I'm a bit paranoid. I feel like as you grow up, or as you get older and mature, you kind of know, okay, I've got a heavy flow, I'm wearing this pad, I'm wearing it for this many hours, and I'm gonna change it. But then there are times when it's just like, oh my God, like, I'm a bit paranoid. And obviously when it comes to dancing and going clubbing, I don't really feel comfortable wearing a pad. It's just paranoid. It's just, I don't feel comfortable. I don't like it that much. And you can't really, you can still do activities with a pad, don't get it twisted, you really can, but I just think the paranoia is definitely there, and you definitely don't want to feel embarrassed. But ultimately we're introduced to pads, so pads are good, baby. Now we're going to talk about the tampon. Now I got introduced to the tampon when I was in secondary school. I never used it. When I started using tampons was when I was in my late teens, so probably 17, 18, and it changed my life. This thing changed my life because I was quite an active person, and I love swimming. So the thought of going on holiday and being able to go in the sea, or being able to go in the pool, and I can use one of these, it was actually life-changing. When I wore this tampon, I thought, oh my God, like, I don't even feel like I'm on my period. I'm not even thinking about being on my period, because I feel so secure with this, you know? When it comes to tampons as well, they come with an applicator. This tampon has an applicator, and then you have other tampons that don't have an applicator, which basically means you have to stuff it up your vagina yourself. I'll show you in a second how that works and stuff. You can also get tampons that cater to heavy periods and tampons that cater to lighter periods. It's very, very important that you get things that cater to what your menstrual cycle is going through. If you have a light period, right, and you're using a thick tampon, when you pull that tampon out, let me tell you, it will burn. It will burn, baby. It's gonna burn, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be uncomfortable. That's what I hate. So you really have to be wise and choose the right thing. What I don't like about tampon, and what can be quite scary, and maybe you're scared too, is TSS. Toxic shock syndrome is very real. It happens with tampons, and it happens when you leave your tampon in for a long time. You should be changing your tampon every 4 to 3 hours, depending on your flow. If you've got a heavy flow, you don't leave it in for 6 or 8 hours. That's crazy. Your risk is higher. You do not want to get toxic shock syndrome, okay? So you must change your tampon. You know, you must stay clean. You must you know, take your hygiene seriously when you're on your period. Like sometimes when I'm on my period, I shower twice a day because sometimes I'm just like, child, I do not feel comfortable. But yeah, so that is the fun thing about tampons, is that you can feel free to go dancing, to go clubbing, to swim, to really do activities, and I really love it for that. But obviously toxic shock syndrome is very scary. Now, pads versus tampons. Right. Which ones would you prefer, okay? Would you prefer the tampon so you can have fun on the beach, or would you prefer the pad where you're a bit safe and you know you're on your period, so let it flow out? So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna see the pads, and I'm gonna show you how to use them. So with this pad, it's pretty simple. This is a pad for if you have a light period. So you just open it up like this. Pretty simple. As you guys can see, you should probably know. So you take it off. This part is sticky because it's meant to stick to your knickers. And then you have this here, which you take off. And these are the wings here. And this is what it looks like. And the wings just go around your knickers. And it's basically nice and small and fitting. This, you can tell, is a very light, this is for a light flow. So if you have a thick flow and you're using this, so for example, if you have a heavy flow, you've just gotten pads, or someone has bought you pads and it's light, obviously you can still use it, and I would recommend you use it, because otherwise what are you going to use? But you need to change it often, because what happens is if you have a lot of blood, then this is just going to become overflowing, and then it will seep through this cotton and go onto your knickers and go onto your trousers or your skirt, and then you may have that embarrassing moment where you can see the blood. And it's just unfortunate. And that normally happens if someone else buys you pads and you're like, oh my God, you bought the wrong pads and you're not gonna go back. Like, are you crazy? So this is the light version. And this hair is nighttime. And this is how thick it is. This is how thick this nighttime one is. As you guys can see, this doesn't have wings. And it has a strip hair at the back. And if you take the strip off, it's sticky, and that also sticks to your knickers. So this is the difference between a thick pad and a thin pad. That's the difference between heavy flow periods, safety at nighttime, versus light. So if you have a light period, use this. If you have a thick period, use this. It's not common, I mean, it's common sense, but at the end of the day, it's also, if you didn't know, now you do know, thick pads versus light pads, use what is best for you. But like I said, if you have a thick pad and you're wearing this in your knickers, sometimes it is uncomfortable, and it's like, oh, I really am on my period, and then sometimes you get up and you have to like kind of shake around, and you just feel like not only are you in pain, but it's like this thick thing in between your legs, like, and it's not pleasurable, if you know what I mean. So I can understand why people don't like using pads, but I feel like if you're a kid, or if, well, not a kid, but if you're a young woman and you're just starting your period, then I feel like pads are just easier and safer to use, and everyone uses it, everyone knows how to use it, and a lot of people have pads on them, you know, responsible women. So now the tampon applicator. So this is what the box looks like. Tampax, I use Tampax, and as you can see here, it has regular flow, light flow, heavy flow, etc, etc. So you basically judge by the drops. So as you can see, this is 2 drops, which means it's regular. If the third drop was coloured in, it would mean super, and if all of them were coloured in, it would mean super plus. So this is a tampon with the applicator. So I'm going to take it out for you, and what I love about this as well is that it could be classed as sweets, it could be classed as anything. Also, the higher end brands, and so this is the difference between tampons. This is quite a decent price tampon, like £3 or £4 for the box. However, this is what it looks like. It's kind of like cardboardy thick. If you actually spend like £4 to £5 on getting like the high-end tampons, the applicator is plastic, and it feels much more easier to go up your vagina, and it feels better. And it's quite annoying that these are the little things you notice, but these are the things you notice. Now with tampons, when I first started using them, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know how to put it in properly. It has instructions, but let me tell you, the first time I put in my tampon, I was walking around like something was in my pom-pom, for real. It was so uncomfortable. I was like, I'm never gonna wear this. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to put your tampon on properly. And when you wear a tampon, ladies and gentlemen, but ladies, you're not supposed to feel it. if you can feel your tampon in your vagina, it means it's not in properly, which means your blood is going to leak. I'm being serious. If you can feel your tampon whilst it's in there, you are not wearing it properly, okay? Okay, so I had to shout at you guys. So this is an applicator. It just means that it helps push it up. So this is going to be my hand, the vagina. So say this is our vagina, right? This is the top bit here, and these, say that is the flap. One flap there, two flap there. So what you do is you hold your tampon like this, like you're going to inject something, right? So you make sure there's a ribbed end there. You hold it by the rib end there, and you hold this bit right here. And then say this is your vagina, and then you put it up, you push, 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 until like this rigid bit here is in line with your actual vagina and you're holding it there, right? So I'm gonna get closer. So say this is your vagina, you push it up, 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 and then you hold it there, and then you push it up, right? And then after you've pushed it up, that bit is in your vagina now. And then you pull this down, so your vagina will be like this. You pull this down, and that is what it's supposed to look like, right? Okay, well, probably less, because it's like right in there. And you're not supposed to feel it. You're not supposed to feel it, but you see the little string here, and you can get on with your day, and you change it when you need to change it. And to take it out, you just pull it down, push, 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 push. And that is how you do it, okay? It's very, very simple. Now, the tampons with no applicator basically look like this, but obviously it'll be like that. And then so you just like push it up yourself kind of thing. But that is how you use a tampon, but that's how you use it properly anyway. And I feel like that was very, very helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So ultimately, what do I prefer? I really do love good tampons. I really do love tampons. But I feel like sometimes I just feel like I want to wear a pad, like I'm not bothered to. I don't know. But I don't discriminate. Like, I use whatever I use. But I prefer when I'm on holiday or when I'm going out, I like to use a tampon. Like if I'm working on set or I'm doing photography, I prefer to use a tampon because I don't want to think about a pad and it being thick. And tampons are so small that you can fit like 6 or 5 in your bag, whereas pads, especially if you have a thick pad like this, girl, you have to start scrunching up your bag, like, so it's about convenience. And you know what the gag is? That there really is no tampons versus pad. It's really about what you're comfortable with and what makes you feel confident. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to know your comments below, or your embarrassing moments. We're gonna take this whole month to really talk about periods, and how to overcome them and how to cure your period pains, because I've got some stories. We're gonna talk about some embarrassing moments, and we're really gonna have like a bonding moment, guys. So I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.